How's it going, everybody? It's Young here, and welcome to a PlayStation 4 Pro discussion video. So, Sony recently held their PlayStation Meeting 2016 event. They announced the PlayStation 4 Slim, which is basically your standard PS4, but just in a smaller form factor, but that's already been leaked. A lot of you probably already know about that, so I'm not going to discuss that. In fact, Sony themselves, they just kind of brushed over it pretty quickly, because I think they knew, like, at this point, everyone knows about this device. There's already reviews out there and breakdowns and all that. That's probably one of the worst cases of a leak that I've ever seen. To have a product already out there before it's even announced, to have it broken down like that. But anyway, that's besides the point. PS4 Slim, it's just a small form factor PS4. If you don't have a PS4 and want the cheaper version of the PlayStation 4 lineup, definitely get the PlayStation 4 Slim, which is $299, just the same old PS4. What I want to talk about in this video is the PlayStation Pro, which was formerly known as the PlayStation Neo. So on the video itself, I'm gonna put the spec sheet for the tech savvy out there who want the specific details, but while that's up there, I'm gonna give you guys just sort of the basic rundown of what you need to know about the PlayStation Pro. It's basically gonna be an enhanced version of the PlayStation 4. It's gonna be able to output 4K. It's intended to basically improve graphical fidelity for those who already have 1080p, or intended for those who have 4K TVs and want to upgrade to that, and for people who want to experience HDR, which is this essentially just, it has to do with colors and lighting, and it just makes things look a little more realistic. But the basic information you need to know is it is going to be $399. It's going to launch on November 10th, 2016. It's going to have increased CPU clock speed, more than double the power of GPU from the original PlayStation 4. It's got some of that technology from AMD called the Polaris architecture, which basically allows the GPU to use its capabilities more efficiently, and it's just an all-around more powerful device. It's also bigger, it's chunkier. I personally am not a big fan of the appearance of this new PlayStation Neo. I don't like the triple-decker look. It looks like a staircase or like a triple-decker sandwich, which is kind of weird, but it's not like horrible looking either. It's adequate. It'll do the job fine. It certainly looks like a PlayStation 4, but with like an added layer, which I think that's what they were going for. But overall, in terms of the presentation of the whole event, I thought it was kind of tame. It didn't quite have the big splash that I was hoping it to have. And also the live stream didn't do a very good job of showcasing the capabilities of the PlayStation Pro because, well, YouTube or Twitch, you know, they compress the videos, you know, they have lower bit rates to allow people to view the live stream. So every time they had one of those 4K showcases where they have like 1080p and then they slide the little bar and then it transitions to 4K and to showcase the high resolution and the HDR or whatever, I saw like barely any difference. So they're definitely gonna have to release that in in a better way that isn't the live stream, because I could barely tell the difference. I was also disappointed that they weren't talking too much about frame rates, which I think is what people would like to see more than anything improved than the resolution itself, because as neat as 4K is, it isn't really standard in this current day and age. It might get there in a few years, but right now I think the sweet spot is still 1080p, and what I think people really want is to have enhanced graphical fidelity on 1080p, as well as enhanced frame rates. Constant 60 FPS is, I think, what most people would prefer, and they didn't talk too much about that, which I thought was disappointing. Also, they showed off a lot of old games, which I thought was weird. I think they're just trying to make the case that, you know, if you already bought the PS4, you already have some games. A lot of those games are gonna scale up with patches and stuff, and they're gonna be able to take advantage of the PlayStation 4 Pro. But I wish I saw just more new content to really make a bigger splash for this presentation, to get the ball rolling. But it just, I don't know, the overall presentation was just kind of stagnant. It was just, I don't know, something was off about it. It did the job adequately and it presented the information, but it just wasn't as exciting as I expected it to be. But I did like that they showed off things like Mass Effect Andromeda. I think the showcase, the 3-minute showcase was really neat. It's, I think, the first true gameplay we've seen of the game, and it looked pretty, essentially. It looked really good, and there's a 4K version of the video on Mass Effect's YouTube channel as well as, and I uploaded it on my channel as well, so be sure to check it out. It looks great, but again, it's just, I don't think they quite did a great job of saying why people should maybe upgrade to PlayStation Pro or what have you, you know? But for those who haven't bought PS4, I don't think there's much reason to not get a PlayStation Pro, except maybe the form factor if you think it's a little too big for your living room or something. It's just $100 more and you get a lot more power, so I think the price point is actually really good. It's a great price point for this capable machine. But in terms of people who already own a PS4, them upgrading to this new machine, I don't think it's justified. I don't think we're quite there yet. I don't think 4K is standard enough. Just the PlayStation 4 seems to be doing an adequate enough job of playing these high-resolution games, and again, because they didn't talk about frame rates, that's even more of a reason to just stick with your current PS4. But if you have money to burn, or if you are an absolute nut for graphics, the PlayStation Pro could be a worthwhile upgrade for you. Also, if you're into PlayStation VR, which is going to launch pretty soon in like a month, on October 13th, I believe. If you are deep into PlayStation VR, you really want to get into that bandwagon, I think then you should definitely get the PlayStation Pro, because you want those higher resolutions for VR, you want that smoothness, and I think PlayStation Pro is going to offer that much more so than the regular PlayStation 4, but just keep in mind it's going to run at a premium price. I mean, just the PlayStation VR by itself is costly, and then you got the PS4 Pro on top, along with the accessories that are required, things like the PlayStation Move, the PlayStation camera, so just keep track of all that. Don't just assume you just have to get the PlayStation VR. There's a lot of other components that goes into that. So, but yeah, overall, just a very tame presentation that did its job adequately, but didn't really make a big splash. It didn't wow us in any way. They didn't show enough new games, I think. They didn't do a great job of making a case for why upgrading to PlayStation Pro is worth it, because again, the live stream did a poor job of showing that difference between 4K and regular HD. And, you know, they were saying stuff like this new device, the graphics, there's such a vast difference, and they kept hyping it up, but when they actually showcased it, it wasn't there. You know, at least in my eyes, I just couldn't really see it. So maybe in the upcoming few days leading up to the launch of the PlayStation Neo, maybe they should release some uncompressed footage showcasing a true side-by-side comparison or something. And it also doesn't help that people don't have most people don't have 4K monitors or 4K TVs, so it just didn't, I think, come across the way they intended, the differences in graphics. But that's pretty much all I have to say on the matter. I don't think it's worth, for me, I don't think I'll be purchasing the PlayStation Pro quite yet. I already have a PlayStation 4 and I'm quite happy with that. But also for the people who don't have a PlayStation 4, I think you should just go straight for the Pro, because it's just $100 price difference. If that's too big of a price jump for you, then by all means go with the PlayStation 4 Slim or the regular one that's out there right now. But I think for just $100, for those who don't own a PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 4 Pro is well worth the price, considering how much more it offers. But I'm still gonna hold out until I get one, until I see more games taking advantage of that power, and hopefully until they get games to run at better frame rates at 1080p, which for me is still the sweet spot. So there you have it, folks. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the presentation. What are your thoughts on the PS4 Slim, on the PS4 Pro? Are you gonna get one? Let us know in the comments below, and to be further updated on gaming news, console news, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time. Young out!